Dirt Trax TV is sponsored by Polaris, think outside. Can-Am, follow your path. Yamaha, revs your heart. And by Honda Power Sports, power your dreams, whatever the terrain.
You know, when I think of Ranger, I think of ultimate capability and ultimate utility, while not sacrificing the fun factor. But I guess for today, I'm gonna have to add ultimate luxury as well, because this Ranger XD 1500 NorthStar Ultimate is the highest level of trim available on a utility side-by-side, bar none.
Life is good, yeah. Life is good, yeah. Yeah, in my darkest times, you got me feeling like I've been walking on air.
The 2024 Ranger XD 1500 NorthStar Ultimate is simply the GOAT. It is the pinnacle of Ranger engineering. High-end technology, a focus on incredible durability, high-end features dripping from every area that you look, and yes, it does come with a price tag that many of our online viewers have balked at. But let's remember, you don't get an F350 Platinum cheap, and there are lots of Rangers available at a wide range of budget levels. This one just happens to be at the very top, and rightly so, considering it's been over 5 years in the making to ensure ultimate durability. In Canada, you're gonna spend $63,500. In the US, you're gonna spend $49,500. And no, there is no higher tier. This is the ultimate. You can drop down and save yourself $5,000 going with the premium, but today we're testing the best of the best. So yes, price is high, but let's look at what you're getting, because the included capabilities and features tell me you're getting a lot, not just paying a lot. This is the Crew, so 6-seat capability. It is the Ranger XD, so next level strength, durability, and capacities with 3,500 pounds towing and a massive 1,500 pound rear box capacity. A 1,498cc triple cylinder, 110 horse, 105 foot-pounds of torque ProStar mill, a steel drive transmission that does not use a rubber belt, but a steel belt inside of a sealed oil bath CVT transmission. Power tilting rear box, factory installed insulated cab with heat and air conditioning, power windows and power windshield wiper, heated front seats, 7-inch touchscreen with navigation, JBL stereo with Pro 2000 audio, 6,000 pound winch with rapid recovery and built-in bumper D-rings, 15-inch wheels with 30-inch Kenda Cross Trail tires, special ultimate package accent lighting up front, and about 100 other things that I don't have time to tell you about. But you get the idea. This is not your entry-level Ranger. This is, as the name states, the ultimate Ranger in every single way. So now that you know the specs on the page, let me tell you about how they actually work, because features don't always translate in person. But I'm gonna keep the suspense pretty low. These specs did and do translate. This thing is flippin' amazing. I mean, I want one at my house all year round. I can take the skid steer and bucket loads of dirt into the rear box and then go dump it without even stepping outside of the cab. The 1,500 pound box capacity is crazy. And the fact that it'll actually dump that much, yeah, I am impressed, Polaris engineers. Even more impressive is the fact that after looking really hard and calling Luke to verify that I wasn't blind, the lack of a low range lever, because of the steel drive transmission, doesn't need one and makes things so much simpler from hauling dirt to plowing snow. One range for all things. If it's a cool morning, I pump up the heat setting and pop on the heated seats, Bluetooth my favorite podcast or playlist, and get to work. Oh, and the cup holder count, yeah, it's next level, as is interior storage for all of your work-related tools. Need to charge stuff? There's ports all over, even in the rear box for powering all kinds of aftermarket accessories. Now, we all know that this level of trim isn't for everyone, but I mean, if you have some big acreage, I'm talking like Yellowstone is real life for you, I can absolutely see how this Ranger would be completely invaluable. Taking the vet out to the herd 20 miles back, fixing fence lines on a 10,000 acre ranch, showing high value clients around big acreage, outfitters taking hunters out to the tree stand or ground blind for that once in a lifetime trophy hunt, or enjoying a slower pace of life on the farm and a few more creature comforts while you oversee the next generation, this is the side-by-side for you. You're gonna see me using this Ranger a lot this season. In fact, in just a couple short weeks, you're gonna see me take it on a family fishing trip because I know no matter the weather, everybody is going to have a blast. And while I know you don't need an enclosed cab, heat and AC, and heated seats to have fun, it actually adds another level of fun when the interior cab noise is so low. Conversations can be had with ease. Roll the windows down and let in the fresh air and pop open the front windshield and you're back to nature. If the rain starts and the temps drop or increase, I seal everything up and run the HVAC system to keep everyone comfortable. This really is a little pickup truck with all the features that you'd expect from a modern on-highway vehicle. And the beauty of such a capable and robust side-by-side is that it's not just the ultimate workhorse. I mean, it is the ultimate workhorse, but it's the ultimate play vehicle as well. And you can take this thing out and have all kinds of fun when the day's work is over. Ride Command Plus gives you access to the vehicle via an app on your phone to check maintenance and overall health. The Ride Command touchscreen GPS allows you to explore their local ride areas, keep an eye on everything pertinent to the health of the side-by-side, and also access features like the heated seats, backup camera, and JBL stereo, as well as alter and change your gauge layout as you prefer. When it comes to ultimate capability, the 6,000-pound Rapid Recovery HD winch is something that you're not only going to use, you're going to love it when you do. This might just be my favorite winch of all time. Sure, it's a solid 6K pound winch with synthetic rope and an auto stop feature so you don't torque the rope too tight that you can't get it out by accident, but because of rapid recovery. Let out all that winch line, pull that fence post or winch out that stuck piece of equipment, then recover your rope at 6 times the speed of traditional winches. Saves you time, gets it done faster, gets you back to work or play quicker. Simple. Now another area that I really like is the lighting on the Ultimate. Not only did Polaris put a beefy LED rear cargo light on top of the cab to illuminate the work area, they added LED headlights and taillights that on their own are very powerful, and then also added on the Ultimate outer front bumper wing LEDs as well as door puddle LEDs, interior dome LEDs, interior accent illumination, and also the really cool blackout mode where you can switch off the headlights and dim all interior lights. It's a great feature for hunting. So the reality is that the Ranger XD 1500 NorthStar Ultimate isn't for everybody. In fact, it's for a select group of people who want ultimate capability and don't mind paying for the luxuries that come with it. And I can tell you with absolute assurance that they are going to love every second they spend with this side-by-side.
Dirt Trax is sponsored by Princess Auto. Make it work.
Anyone who's been around the off-road industry for even a tiny bit of time will be very familiar with the name MBRP. MBRP is best known for their performance exhaust systems for everything from cars and trucks to side-by-sides, ATVs, and snowmobiles. What a lot of people don't know about MBRP is that the founder, Martin Barkey, is an avid racer and has raced all different types of vehicles, including on-road cars and off-road trucks and buggies and side-by-sides. Martin believes that the racetrack is the best place to develop performance products that will survive for the average consumer on the trail day in and day out. So that's exactly what he and his son Josh do.
So personally, I've raced Ultra 4 and a little bit of karting, which is in our world, but the Ultra 4 was a blast. We did unlimited 4,400 race cars, a large Bronco, massive horsepower, which was desert, rocks, combination of everything. And then Martin did the same as well. So our CEO, he came in through GT3, Cup car racing, and everything else, up to an Acura NSX. Lots of experience. We go back to in his heritage a lot, and it goes all the way back to, good old days of racing. We are enthusiasts. We race these vehicles, and it's not just putting the name on a side of a car. So between myself and our CEO, Martin Barkey, we are into King the Hammer's Ultra 4 racing for a number of years now, and we've done that because we are so passionate about off-road racing.
This year, MBRP is not going to race full-blown hand-built tube chassis custom vehicles at the King of the Hammers race. They are going to race Maverick Rs that have been outfitted with their own lineup of new parts and accessories and their brand new Maverick R exhaust.
So through the years, MBRP has raced King the Hammers multiple times. We put exhaust systems on these vehicles to ensure that they're going to make the 10, 12, 14 hours worth of racing. And what we've done through that time is worked with the builders and testing exhaust systems to the point that they're not going to burn out. They're going to be muffled the whole time. They're still creating power on the dyno. These are some of the most grueling conditions that a car is going to see, an exhaust is going to see, and it's going to get extremely hot in the middle of California. Blazing hot sun and a V8 roaring all day long. So this is where we get to test our installation, our packing, the materials, everything else, and what we learn from that is massive to what we put on the road for everyday drivers. So with the Mav R, we started with exhaust, as that's what we're best known for. We've gone with a turbo back race system at this point in time, which features a pie cut style laser welded pipe path. Now this is great because we're able to do really tight radius bends to it, which allow for a very clean flowing exhaust system. It's a 3-inch high flow muffler, which then incorporates the OEM tip at the end. Now this is launched available right now. As we're still going through development, we are creating a new tip option for it to give different flavor, different looking options for those that want to customize their Mav R even more, as well as looking at active systems, which will come out later this summer. So this exhaust offers roughly 12 pounds of weight savings over the OEM unit, while also offering 7 horsepower on the dyno. So a great gain out of a turbo side-by-side. Nice part is that it's extremely high flowing and doesn't require any fuel mapping or anything else. Just toss it on and go. As part of our transition into more side-by-side parts, MBRP is coming out with rock rails, shock guards, and a front bumper for the new Mav R at this point. The rock rails are awesome because they're very tight to the machine. There's a lot of other ones on the market that are more like Nerf bars and really come out and take up ground clearance that you're going to want on these side-by-sides. Now ours is very tight, very thick wall tubing, and cups the body so well so that you're using it more like a slider and able to still protect your factory plastics. The front bumper is built from an 11 gauge material, so a good thick wall, and it features a skid plate that goes all the way behind the front steering. The nice part about the bumper is that it is actually modular, as well as comes with a builder series. So that means that it's in multiple pieces, so that if you need to tweak anything, want to change anything on it, you're doing that as you're assembling it. So from our race testing and what we require in Ultra 4, we've made this bumper to ensure that it's the correct wall thickness, the correct strength, out in front of the tires an appropriate amount as well, to ensure safety for the race series, while also ensuring safety when you're on a trail. The front bumper comes with a lot of great features, such as modular lighting. There's holes to allow you to move the light brackets in certain locations. This allows you to go from small 2-inch cubes up to large 6-inch rounds. The bumper features 2 bars going to the top shock mounts, so this adds extra rigidity and strength. And the bumper also offers the ability to put a full-size winch on. So this is not a small power sports winch. This is a large 9,000-pound winch like you would put in your truck. So for anybody going for the real off-road over massive rocks that you may need to use this, you have the option to run that. So the future of side-by-side for MBRP is just being started right now. We're getting deep in on the Mav R with the accessories. We've done exhaust for every large platform out there, making power on every single one, losing weight. Again, it's not just about sound or being loud like some of our competitors may do. We definitely aim for the performance side of things. Now with the accessories, we're going to do the exact same thing there. We're going to focus on expanding that to all the large platforms, all the high performance platforms, and start grounding MBRP into the market that way.
Dirt Trax has been sponsored by Kawasaki. Let the good times roll. MBRP Performance Exhaust, built for the victory lap. And by Hercules Tire. Ride in our strength.
Hey, what's up everybody? Today we've got the 2024 CFMOTO Zforce 950 Sport 4-passenger. I've got Graham with me back here. He's going to be doing some video. Dean's just over here. He's going to be taking some photos for us. We're going to load ourselves up and load all our camera gear up and get some ride impressions here and show you what this thing's capable of. Last season, I reviewed the newly restyled Zforce 950 Sport, showcasing all the updates to this machine. And then this past fall, CFMOTO surprised us by adding a 4-seater Zforce Sport to its lineup. The 60-inch wide sport category is really a sweet spot for me. It's just wide enough to fit down most of the trails that I ride on, and I prefer the sport styling over a utility side-by-side. Surprisingly though, 60-inch wide 4-passenger sport units aren't clogging the market, with the Maverick Sport Max being this machine's primary competition. If you step into the 64-inch wide class, prices take a big jump, and although performance options take a big leap as well, you potentially limit your access to narrower trail systems. My feeling is this is a smart choice for CFMOTO, and it's a bullseye for 4-seat buyers on a budget. CFMOTO's put a tremendous amount of effort into cab comfort. These seats are really comfortable, and there's enough room up front for me as a driver. The driver's seat is adjustable forward and back. However, the passenger seat isn't, which was surprising to me. The back seats are spacious as well. I'm 5'10", and there's plenty of room for me back here. Now, a taller person might feel a little bit cramped, but for me, I'm quite happy. My only complaint about the back row is the seats are a bit low, and I found myself staring right into the middle of the seat in front of me and had to lean into the middle to see out the front. I feel like these seats could be an inch or two higher to offer a better view. I'm a huge fan of these doors that open and close nicely, and this rubber seal does an effective job of keeping out mud and water. Plus, you got a roof to protect you from the rain and the sun. The doors in the back seat are nice and tall and keep arms in, so you know your passengers will be protected while you're focused on driving. There's also a ton of storage inside the cab behind the steering wheel where the winch remote is plugged in for easy access, and this deep well glove box can store all your stuff and keep it safe while riding. This steering wheel is grippy and sporty, and the EPS is dialed in just right for lighter steering and handling. And this shift lever might be the smoothest operating in the industry. Never once did it stick or become stubborn while engaging. You know I'm a big fan of this digital display, and I think it's one of the nicest available. It's bright and colorful and easy to read, and something other manufacturers should be paying attention to. Plus, there's quick access to the battery, ECU, and air filter behind the back seats, and the center console removes easily with a few half-turn fasteners for quick access to your engine. These dash-mounted toggle switches operate normal and sport mode, 2-wheel drive, 4-wheel drive, and locking diff. There's a hazard light, turn signals, and a horn. Functionally, these switches work fine, but they are getting a bit dated and just don't match the quality level we're seeing in this G2 platform. Personally, I'd just like to see them updated. This machine features CFMOTO's 963cc V-twin, which we're reporting at around 85 horsepower. And the CVTech clutching is incredibly smooth from engagement to top end. Power out of this engine is decent enough and managed just fine with 3 full-grown adults on board and all our gear. The only time I felt like it could use a bit more juice was climbing steep hills. The vehicle wasn't struggling by any means, but if there was ever a time during our testing that we missed a bit more power, that was it. We've got our fingers crossed that CFMOTO will be introducing a new twin in the 100 to 115 horsepower range in the near future. This machine measures in at 150 inches long with a 120-inch wheelbase. Just for reference, that's pretty much identical to the Maverick Sport Max. The longer wheelbase really contributed to a smoother ride by bridging larger ruts in the trail, and the additional length of this machine still handled really well in tighter trail sections. Sport 4 features double A-arm suspension up front with 12.2 inches of travel and a double A-link rod rear suspension with 13.1 inches of travel. These larger diameter piggyback shocks are a big update over the 2023 2-passenger Zforce Sport and feature an 8-position compression clicker with a red anodized clicker knob that works so much better than last year. Honestly, this suspension was probably the most pleasant surprise of our whole day of testing. I set the front suspension to 3 clicks from soft, and the rear suspension was 4 clicks from soft, and none of us experienced any huge spine tinglers, even on the most aggressive sections of trail. The suspension was smooth and responsive, and a massive improvement in the Zforce line. The Sport 4 features these 27-inch stag tires that are 9 inches wide up front and 11 out back, wrapped around these beautiful dual-color wheels. The staggered tire size with the narrower fronts does make for nimble steering when teamed with this EPS. However, my comments about these stag tires mirror my opinion last season. I'd like to see CFMOTO use a tire with a grippier compound and a slightly more aggressive tread pattern that would deliver more traction for aggressive trail riding. Additional features on this model in Canada include a CFMOTO branded 4,500 pound winch with synthetic cable that we used more than once during our testing. The roof we talked about earlier, folding mirrors, a half windshield, and a spacious rear cargo box with a lid that snaps tight and stays closed, holding up to 330 pounds of gear. Note that the box is removable, so if you prefer an open bed or you have something that's larger that just might not fit inside the trunk. One of the benefits CFMOTO offers over other brands is getting all the premium features at base model pricing. When you compare this model in Canada to the Maverick Sport Max, for a few $100 less, you get performance shocks, wheels, the winch, a roof, mirrors, and a sweet cargo trunk. Sure, it's about 15 horsepower less than the Maverick, but you also get a 5-year warranty in Canada compared to the 6-month warranty offered by Can-Am. Now that's something to think about.